You cannot put this in the podcast.
I know. Can I bleep the names? Can I just bleep the names? I think I can just bleep the names. They don't listen.
You don't know that.
Welcome back, citizens of De Niro Nation, to Our Hero De Niro, the only podcast that is watching and recapping Robert De Niro's entire filmography in random order. I'm Mike, and with me as always is my co-host, Mike.
No relation.
And today we're discussing the 2011 Gary Marshall film, New Year's Eve. Mike, have you ever heard of New Year's Eve? Are you familiar with it at all? I know you haven't seen it.
No, I had never heard of this film. But I know from you only, really. This was like a thing in movies at this time, wasn't it? Like this kind of ridiculous collection of like 100 movie stars, and that's like the only thing that the film
gimmick
has about it.
Yeah. It's second in an unofficial trilogy of romantic comedy films directed by Gary Marshall, set on a one-day holiday and featuring an ensemble cast. So the first one was Valentine's Day in 2010, which I think makes a lot more sense as a day to set a romantic comedy in. And then this one, New Year's Eve in 2011, and then the final one was Mother's Day in 2016.
Yeah, I will say that I think that New Year's Eve is a lot closer to being normal than Mother's Day is.
Yeah, it's more romantic, right? It's certainly not less romantic.
Yeah, New Year's Eve is kissing at New Year at midnight, right? Like that's a thing.
Yeah,
New Year's Eve, like it is a pretty explicitly romantic holiday in some contexts. Mother's Day is a day about mothers.
Yeah,
that's only romantic to the mother's one partner.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Clearly a case of diminishing returns. This is the only film I'd seen in the trilogy. I mean, I only saw it for the podcast. I hadn't seen it previously. Yep. This was directed by Gary Marshall and written by Catherine Fugate? I don't know. And starring an ensemble cast consisting of, I'm going to read them off real fast: Halle Berry, Jessica Biel, John Bon Jovi, Abigail Breslin, Chris Ludacris Bridges, Robert De Niro, Josh Duhamel, Zac Efron, Hector Elizondo, Katherine Heigl, Ashton Kutcher, Seth Meyers, Lea Michele, Sarah Jessica Parker, Michelle Pfeiffer, Til Schweiger, Hilary Swank, and Sofia Vergara. The film was released on December 9th, 2011, and received generally negative reviews from critics, but grossed $142 million at the worldwide box office. It has an average rating of 3.2 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's worth every star.
Yeah. So I think we should probably get right into it. But before we do, I want to pause. I want to reflect. I want to take a moment here. This is our 52nd episode of the podcast. We have not missed a week.
What a 52 weeks it's been.
Yeah. And I just want to take a moment here and sincerely, I'm not often sincere, but I want to sincerely thank all the citizens of De Niro Nation who are tuning in today. Everyone who has stuck with the show from its earliest point all the way until now. I mean, it was so rough around the edges in the beginning, and I re-listened to a couple of our early episodes recently. It's tough stuff. I would not encourage anyone to go back and listen to the first 10 episodes. I think it really only because, it's rough. So this has been an ongoing learning process for us, and it means a lot to me. And I know, Mike, that you're giving us the space to experiment, refine our segments, and really find the show's voice. So I'm really excited about what the show is in its current state. And I know that we want to have a lot more fun with it, play with format, really refine it, and really turn it into something even more special in the coming year.
I'm ready to get wacky in 2026.
Oh, sure.
All I was going to say was I think that tonight, after this episode, I'm going to go back and I'm going to listen to Greetings. I've not gone back and listened to it since the day that it released. So might be time to go back. Might be time to go back.
It might be time. Experience. Yeah. Like it's like revisiting like the neighborhood where you grew up. Just like remember your humble beginnings. It's that sort of thing.
Yeah. I don't think the neighborhood I grew up in is nearly as bad relative to my current life as Greetings was relative to our most recent episodes of the podcast.
Yeah.
I think the podcast has improved a lot more than the circumstances of my life have.
That's true. Yeah. So I guess we should get right into this recap. I will say, as Mike previously mentioned, this is one of those rom-coms from the early 2010s whose only gimmick is that it stuffs as many celebrities as possible into its 2-hour runtime. So it's dense. There are a lot of different subplots, and I wrote, and I waited to tell you this until we were recording, almost 2,200 words in my plot summary.
It's incredible.
I mean, I'm not happy about it, but it kept me paying attention to the film, which I think I otherwise wouldn't have. Did you pay attention?
This was a no. Yeah, definitely. This is a no-noter for me. I could tell. I busted out the iPad at the beginning and I was like, maybe I'll take some notes on this. But within the first 10 or 15 minutes, I was like, well, this plot is going to be so rote and I can do this.
All 8 of them?
Yeah. It's all fine. I remember a lot about this movie.
I'm going to try to get through this in a nice breezy manner. And I do have some comments and questions along the way.
I have a lot of comments and questions.
So it's Christmas time in New York City, and we get a generic contemporary rock soundtrack over B-roll of, New York City landmarks, Rockefeller Center, blah, 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 the ice rink, all that bullshit. And we get the title New Year's Eve, and people are getting set up for the New Year's Eve celebration. So here's my first question for you. As in the film, we get some Ryan Seacrest voiceover about the New Year's Eve celebration. Would you ever want to celebrate New Year's Eve in Times Square?
I would really want to. But devoted listeners of the podcast will know from my having mentioned it, I'm sure, several times over the past year, as well as possibly other contexts. I'm not sure how else it might have come up. But, I have to pee a lot in my life. And so the thing that has stopped me from ever doing Times Square New Year's Eve is I feel like you'd have to stand there for like probably 8 hours, right? It would be a really long time. And I honestly don't think I could hold it for that long. I'd have to wear like Depends or something. And I really don't want to do that. That's so undignified just to have this experience. Like so that's what stopped me. I would love to have the experience, but I don't think I ever will for that reason.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you would have to wear a diaper or something, because I was thinking about this. I've never really wanted to. I don't really like big crowds. I don't like having to stand in the same place for a very long time. And you're going to go out there, you're going to party, you're going to have some drinks.
Right. A lot of drinks, right? Yeah.
And even me, someone who I can hold it in like a camel, I would still, I'm sure at one point, really just need to let it out, and I wouldn't be able to. What's the point?
You bang down like 3 or 4 pints of beer, like even if you got a lot of stamina, you're going to have to piss. It's going to get pretty uncomfortable.
Right, exactly. So it does not hold a lot of appeal to me. But we're introduced to Hilary Swank. This is the start of one of these many plots. She's being interviewed. She's the new VP of Times Square Entertainment or some sort of commission or something. Meanwhile, as that happens, this is another plot, Michelle Pfeiffer gets off a bus. Zac Efron gets off a bicycle and walks into this big record building, like a recording studio, a record label building. And as he's walking by, you can tell he's playing like a real bro-y kind of character. He walks by someone and yells, "Yo, I see you, player." And it's really funny stuff. We're already getting off to a great start here.
He looks so small in this movie, doesn't he? I was struck by it. When I first saw him, I was like, who is that? The face looks so familiar to me. And then I thought about it a little bit more and I was like, oh, it's tiny little baby Zac Efron.
Yeah.
I feel like we think of him as being like a pretty buff, jacked dude now, but he was slim in this era.
He's like a Pokemon. There's like the 3 stages of his evolution. You have 2011 Zac Efron.
We're working our way toward our final Iron Claw evolution.
Well, exactly. Like Iron Claw is the Charizard, the final evolution, and in the middle you have 2016 Dirty Grandpa Zac Efron. It's just how many roids did he consume?
I love Zac Efron though. I like him in this film. I really enjoy him as an actor.
Same. And you'd better believe I have a full ranking of all 8 of the subplots in this film. Excellent. At the end of the recap. Yep. Yeah.
I'm so excited to hear where De Niro's subplot lands on that ranking.
I'm excited.
I know where it lands on my ranking.
Now we start the third subplot, 2 pregnant couples talking at a hospital. Apparently, so one of the couples, the main characters that we're following here are Jessica Biel and Seth Meyers. The other couple is played by Sarah Paulson and Till Schweiger, and they seem to be forming some sort of light rivalry because they learn about this, I don't even know, contest? I don't know what you want to call it, but essentially there's something where the first baby born in the new year wins $25,000, which I think is a crazy idea because of exactly what happens here, which is...
I don't think a hospital would ever do this.
Right.
Yeah.
It can only encourage bad behavior, right?
It's like, it's such a perverse incentive for such a crazy amount of money. Like someone's going to fucking accidentally kill themselves trying to win $25,000 or like have like an accidental miscarriage or like end up with some kind of birth defects or something. It's a horrible idea.
I mean, I agree because Seth Meyers and Jessica Biel immediately want to start trying to induce labor early, which I don't know. You made it this far.
$25,000, wouldn't you? It's a lot of money.
I guess. Yeah.
It's not like it's like $1,000. Like 25 grand is like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Seth Meyers says he could pay off his student loans.
That's true. He's in vet school.
I don't know. He went to vet school. I don't know. Would he go to like vet school, community college or something? $25,000 for a doctorate? I don't think so, buddy. But
in New York City,
maybe.
Yeah. That's a classic rom-com bullshit. You can, go to vet school.
You can get a veterinary degree. I think there's 5 vet schools in the entire country. You can get a veterinary degree for $25,000, undergrad and doctor school, baby.
I don't think the fucking horses are going to look at your credentials and go, well, I'm trying to compare. This one went to Cornell. This one only went to a state school. I don't think they're going to be able to read your diploma. But it's time to start the 4th subplot in the film. Ashton Kutcher, baby, Mr. That 70s Show himself. It's so hard for me to take him seriously, not only because he's most famous for playing Kelso in a show that I never really watched, but one, because I think him and his wife, Mila Kunis, defended Danny Masterson or like defended his character during the rape trial.
Really embarrassing.
Yeah, you don't want to be on the record doing that. I get wanting to support your friend, but you gotta watch what you say.
You gotta really walk a very fine line there, I think. Like, yeah.
I think there was also some like infamous news story about them as a couple. They were profiled, and I think one or both of them mentioned that they don't use soap when they shower or something. It was some like weird granola-y rich person shit where it's like, oh, I bet it smells
we've talked about this,
crazy down there. No, I mean them specifically. Like they don't use any soap at all.
Like ever?
I think.
Oh, you got to use soap every once in a while. Because you and me have discussed this on the podcast before that, like, you don't wash your hair. I only wash with soap like once a week or whatever, but like never. I feel like every once in a while you got to lather a little soap on your body just to get the crust off.
Okay, I did a little fact checking here in real time. We pride ourselves on our live fact checking at the Our Hero De Niro podcast.
Do we ever?
Google's AI overview, I might have remembered this more harshly than it was in reality. Google's AI overview says, Mila Kunis stated she does not use soap on her entire body every day, but washes her armpits and other key areas daily.
Yeah, okay. That sounds totally normal to me.
All right.
Yeah.
So maybe it doesn't smell crazy down there. I'm sorry. I apologize to Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher.
Well, and it probably wouldn't smell crazy down there. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but, they didn't used to have soap, like back in the caveman days.
You think the caveman smelled good down there?
Your body must just like self-regulate, I don't know. Right into Our Hero De Niro. Do we have any like, archaeologists or like medical anthropologists listening to the podcast? You could write in and give us a little bit of information. I only have a bachelor's degree in anthropology, so I'm not qualified to opine on this topic.
I invite all of our listeners to take the Our Hero De Niro "Don't Wash Your Genitals for the Next Month" challenge and and report back to us in February.
You send a sample to a lab that we'll contract with. We don't want to receive that directly.
We don't have a P.O. box. Do not send us anything. Anyways.
Email us in your genital stench.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
At ourherodeniro@gmail.com.
So we're starting the 4th subplot here with Ashton Kutcher. He's in his apartment building. He's dressed kind of in casual, like PJs or whatever. And Paul, I'm just going to use the celebrity names here. What's the point in trying to use their actual character names? Paul, Zac Efron, calls Kutcher Randy. So they're roommates, and Kutcher's character doesn't want to go out for New Year's Eve. He's a total sad sack. He's really like annoyed about New Year's Eve and the celebrations, and he's being a real Grinch-ass bastard about it. So he's ripping decorations down in the apartment hallways. And I have to say here, did you notice or have anything you want to say about the film soundtrack? Because I called it out right here in my notes.
I guess I remember it being pretty bad. But just in like that kind of cheap, like Gennaro contemporary rock of that era sound. It didn't make a huge impression on me, but it made the film, and so many things about it make this seem this way, but it was one of the things that made the film seem really cheap.
Yes. I wrote down, I fucking hate this USA Network original series ass soundtrack.
Yep.
It is. So yeah, you nailed it. It sounds cheap. The film looks cheap. Everything about it seems very cheap, except for the fact that there are multiple A-list stars.
Yeah, it's like they bought the soundtrack on Shutterstock from like the mid-tier stock film soundtrack section of the website. I also want to say something because you just reminded me of something I actually totally forgot about the plot. I totally forgot that Zac Efron and Ashton Kutcher were supposed to be roommates because I don't think we ever see them together in the film, do we? And this is never acknowledged again. It's like a total contrivance to make them, to like create this opportunity for this expository dialogue between these characters. But like them being roommates is totally incidental to the plot. We never see them together on screen and it's never acknowledged again. Am I remembering that correctly?
You are. They never meet up. They never share. They never share the screen.
That's so funny. You said that and I almost didn't believe you for a second. And then I remembered that you were right, but it just happens in the first 5 minutes of the film. Yep.
Well, enough about Ashton Kutcher because it's time for us to move on to the film's 5th subplot. This one stars cinema's Josh Duhamel, star of the Michael Bay Transformers films. In this, we're at a church upstate, very similar looking to the one from First Reformed, but not the same one. He plays a character named Sam, he's basically the best man at, I don't know, his brother or something, or a friend's wedding. It's like a really small, intimate ceremony at this church upstate. They have this wedding and his friend he's Sam. His friend Rory gives him a whole speech after the wedding about how like, oh, you're the last one who's still single, maybe you'll settle down someday and find the one, blah, blah, blah. You're the last of us. Everyone else is settled down. And he needs to get in his rental car, a Buick, and drive back to the city for some big event. So that's going to be his subplot.
I love this scene.
What about it?
Oh, does it happen here or are we going to cut away and come back to him?
That's it.
I love the inciting event for the drama of his
we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
It made me laugh pretty hard. It was my biggest laugh of the whole film. So I'm really excited to when we get there.
I will say I had a couple of light laughs during this film.
Oh, this one got a big laugh out of me just because of how ridiculous it was. But we'll get back to it.
I'm very excited. I know what you're talking about. I'm very excited to get there in a little bit. So it's time for us to move on to our 6th subplot of the film, where we get surprise Katherine Heigl. She is the head of a catering company, and she's getting set up for some really big gala event party. We're not really sure at this point. Her sous chef is played by Sofia Vergara, doing the only thing she knows how to do as an actor. She's just playing the character that she plays and everything.
Particularly unfunny version of that character, I think, in this film.
Yes. So Heigl's friends are played by Sofia Vergara, her sous chef, and some sort of assistant or something or other played by Russell Peters. They are excited because a tour bus has arrived for this rock star named Jensen. And it turns out Jensen is played by Jon Bon Jovi. So we're really breaking out all the stars for this one.
Did you know
what?
That he's been in 77 films?
No. What?
I clicked on him on Letterboxd when I was like poking around. I want to get it right. I know it's in the 70s. Let me go back and get the exact number right, so I don't mislead the citizens of De Niro Nation.
Is our sequel series going to be the Bon Jovi Boys?
He has been, yes, in 77 films.
Holy shit.
I clicked on him and I was like, oh, I bet he's been in like maybe 10 movies. I guess Jon Bon Jovi is also like a movie star in addition to being a famous rock artist. Like kind of crazy.
What did you think of his performance in this film?
I thought he was fine. I mean, but I guess I don't really know I don't know anything about Jon Bon Jovi. So I thought he was fine, but I also kind of assume maybe he was just playing himself.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty easy.
Yeah, he's playing a rock star. I thought he was totally serviceable.
That's what he is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
He seems like a nice guy. He has an innate charm, and he's good at the performance. That comes later in the film. I'm going to make
famous rock star.
I'm going to make that. Remember that Bon Jovi song that was really popular in the early 2000s?
Yeah, It's My Life.
Yeah,
and it's now or never.
Wah wah wah. Yeah, that one.
I don't want to live forever.
Yeah,
but I just want to live while I'm alive.
I know that's the only Bon Jovi song that I know because I remember It played on the radio in the school bus all the time in 2000.
Oh my God, so much. Yeah, we're really dating ourselves here. That played that played at least once on every school bus ride for like the entire time I was in high school.
I'm remembering it now. It's my life. Wah, 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 wah. That's gonna be the song. Oh, you're coughing a lot, man. You might not make it to episode 53.
I'm not doing good. Yep. So just so everybody knows, I'm pretty sick while we're recording.
Imagine if the first episode of 2026 is an in memoriam episode.
In memoriam. Yeah, I died right when we ended the recording today.
We'll have a highlight reel of all of the jokes you made, and it's just like 5 seconds of silence. Well, we're not out of the woods with this subplot just yet, because it looks like Katherine Heigl and John Bon Jovi, aka Jensen, have a romantic history. He walks up to her, and some slow dramatic music plays. This film is incredibly on the nose with its musical choices. It is really, really signaling to the viewer, here is how you should feel. And there's a lot of tonal dissonance that occurs in this movie, which I will complain about later. He walks up to her slowly, dramatically, and she slaps him very hard in the face. Cutting back over to one of our earlier subplots, Zac Efron, apparently he's a courier, like a bike courier, and he delivers a party invite to Michelle Pfeiffer. So she is working in a cubicle for this record label. He gives her the envelope. Apparently he's been delivering packages to her for a year, and she just never recognized him. I will say, when she gets off the bus in the beginning of the film, she nearly gets hit by a car or like someone or something. She seems very anxious and scatterbrained and just kind of nervous and all over the place mentally. Is that a fair assessment of her psychological
she seems
profile?
like kind of an idiot. Like, her whole subplot is going to be that she like quits her job to do all of her New Year's resolutions on the last day of the year. And it's like all of her New Year's resolutions are insane. Like, if you're someone who struggles to do their New Year's resolutions, why are you making a slate that's so ambitious?
That's a great point. I hadn't thought about how they were New Year's resolutions. It felt more like a bucket list to me. We'll get into that later.
She said they were her resolutions. That's how she described them.
Yeah, like the only resolutions I'll have between now and the day I die, maybe. It's a pretty
like it's like this year list. I want to go to fucking Bali. I want to sail around the world. I want to save a life. Like, what are the other things she wants to do? It's like, lady, maybe bite a little bit less off. Like these are things, to your point, that I think the average person would struggle to do in their entire life.
How do you feel about, here's another question for you, because I'm such a great co-host when I lead these recaps. How do you feel about New Year's resolutions?
I thought about this, actually. I don't really do them. I don't think I believe in them. I used to set New Year's resolutions, but I don't think that's really like the way I think about life. Is that the way that you think about life? Like, do you think of years as like meaningfully discrete units of your life?
No. And I don't really do New Year's resolutions anymore, because it's the classic, people will sign up for a gym membership at the beginning of the year and they go for a month and then they just stop. What really worked for me was committing, really for my fitness, really was, because I did the gym membership thing and that kind of petered out. What worked for me a couple of years ago was committing at the start of the year, and the start date was totally arbitrary, but just saying every day for a month, I'm going to do an at-home workout of at least 30 minutes. And I'm just going to do that and track it. And then at the end of that month, I will assess where I'm at and whether or not I want to continue and how I want to continue. And I was able to parlay that into a pretty consistent...
a multi-year habit.
Exactly. Like a more consistent habit, but it wasn't, this is my New Year's resolution and here's just a major thing that I have to start doing. I broke it into a smaller chunk and said, let me do this consistently for a month and see how I feel about it. But yeah, I think New Year's resolutions, it feels like a scam. It feels like a bad way of thinking about problems or things you want to do.
I think that it's, it's an excuse to procrastinate. I think it's like, if in October that something is something you want to do badly enough that it's going to be your New Year's resolution, start doing it now. Why do you need to wait until this arbitrary break point? The point in the Earth's journey around the sun that we have just totally arbitrarily decided is the demarcation of a year. Like
Right.
just pick a day and start, buddy. That sounds great.
Yeah, I agree. Just the best way to do something is to start doing it. And it doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be totally clean or whatever. Just try it. You know?
I think that honestly, we just stop the podcast now and we just transition to self-help format
Yes.
in our next episode.
I think we could. I think there are a lot of ways this podcast could go in 2026.
Let's do a different podcast for every one of the 52 episodes.
I think it would be really fun if we just took a sabbatical from reviewing De Niro films and just went in totally different directions for a month or two every week. The self-help boys are back.
It's a pretty funny idea.
Yeah. So Efron explains to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer's confused. I'm confused why she received these party invites. She seems like a mid-level professional at this record label with no social life to speak of.
I assumed they were for her boss. So I find the way this is all going to go very interesting.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have
why
that
would
assumption.
they be for her? I assumed she was some sort of mid-level worker because she's going to go have the conversation with her boss and he's
Right.
going to be like, oh, I can't lose you. Like, I assumed she was like his gopher.
Right.
And so I assumed they were for him and that she was gonna steal them. Spoiler alert in the plot.
Yeah, I don't know. You're really getting ahead of me for, it's like, I don't know why you keep doing that.
I'm just answering the question that you asked.
Well, Efron explains to her, she's confused as to what these invites are. And he explains to her that it's like a super cool masquerade. It's the coolest party of the year. It's super exclusive. He says it's like Facebook, but for real, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but let's just roll with it for the sake of getting through this.
That's just what life is.
Right.
Yeah.
You just see people.
Life
in
is
the
just
world.
social media in real life. Yeah.
And she implies via body language that she wants him to leave. So we kind of end that scene. We're back. Well, actually, we're not back. I'm sorry. We're starting another subplot. We're starting the seventh
Let's
subplot.
go.
This is where I wrote in my notes, I don't think we need any more subplots, but we're with two teenagers, Haley and Seth. They're having a conversation in like a food court or something where Seth and his crew kind of roll up to Haley and her crew and ask if they're going to come, like Seth asks Haley if she's going to come join them for celebrating New Year's Eve at Times Square. Unsupervised, teen stuff. We meet Haley's mom, who's played by Sarah Jessica Parker. She's a costume designer for like a ballet or the Rockettes or something to that effect. And she has a conversation with one of the other, what do you call crew people, I guess. It's implied that she's been single for a while and she's totally content or claims to be totally content staying in and celebrating New Year's Eve with her teenage daughter. Now we go back, we're going back to earlier subplots. We go back to Josh Duhamel. And here it is, an incredibly special moment in the film. He's driving his rental gray Buick down a lonely road. It's daytime on New Year's Eve. He's driving down this lonely road and he's fidgeting with his he's messing with his standalone dedicated GPS unit, his Garmin or TomTom or whatever people used to use in the year 2011. And he's having such a difficult time entering Times Square as his address or wherever this party is that he ends up crashing into a utility pole.
I love this. I feel like we need to describe the way it happens a little better because I don't think you're really doing it justice. So he's having trouble getting the GPS to work. And the way he's having trouble getting the GPS to work is he keeps saying New York City into the voice recognition. And it's just bringing up all of these other things that start with the word New York, like, New Jersey, etc. And then finally, just as he gets it to get pulled up, it says turn left and then immediately corrects itself and says turn right. And he listens both times, even though he's like 10 fucking feet from the pole, and it makes him crash. And it's like, no one would ever drive like this. Like, it got a huge laugh out of me, just the entire way the scene is set up.
It's so confusing. It's so implausible. We were alive during the era of dedicated GPS units.
I had one. Yeah.
So my question is simple.
Worked fine.
Wouldn't you enter your destination before you start driving?
Yes, always, every time. I used one all the time for years.
Yeah.
And I would be at my originating point and I would take it off the little, it's a little like dock or whatever, like on the dashboard, and I'd pull it off and I'd type my shit in and then I'd put it on and then I would start driving like a normal person.
Right. Even when I use my phones like Google Maps, I'll enter the destination when I'm parked. I don't wait until I'm
unless
on
something
the
changes.
road. Right.
But like nothing did change. His
Nothing
destination
did.
was New York City. Like it's not like he was oh shit, I thought I was going to Providence, Rhode Island.
Right,
But
yeah.
oh fuck, I'm actually going
Oh,
to New York.
shit.
I better change it.
No, I meant I meant New York City. All right, so we're gonna cut back and forth between a lot of different subplots now. So we just got to roll with it. We go back to Hilary Swank and her Times Square subplot. Apparently, Ludacris plays a police officer, a lieutenant or something, and they're apparently friends for some reason. And he says that he's going to help her out tonight, which, how? What help could he possibly offer? Her whole job, she tells us, her whole job is she is responsible for the ball that drops. So her entire life revolves around just making sure that goes smoothly. So I don't know what he can do to assist, but he's going to be involved. Back with John Bon Jovi and Laura, Katherine Heigl, they have a little conversation recapping their whole situation. They were romantically involved a year ago, but they broke up. We don't know why, and Heigl ends up slapping him again. Meanwhile, in Michelle Pfeiffer and Zac Efron's subplot, Pfeiffer walks into her boss's office. This was nice. The boss is played by John Lithgow. Is it Lithgow?
Lithgow.
The boss is played by John Lithgow in a nice
Rochester native, John Lithgow.
Oh, shout out.
Yep.
It's always he elevates everything he's in. It's always nice to see him.
He's an incredible actor. He has so much gravitas, and he's so funny.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, love him. And we get a pretty stereotypical bad boss scene where she kind of prods him because she wants her end of year bonus, and he cuts her a check for an incredibly tiny amount of money. So she just quits. She just abruptly quits on New Year's Eve. And this was one of the moments that made me laugh. She tells him very exasperatedly.
That's not what it was.
What?
It was that she said she wanted to take vacation, but he told her that she couldn't take it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I kind of combined those two in my head. She said that she already had 2 weeks of vacation approved, and he said, no, I can't let you go for more than a week. So she quit.
And she says very passively, that goes through HR. And he goes, oh, no, that goes through me, and I don't approve. It's a good John Lithgow line delivery.
Yeah, that's not what made me laugh, though. What made me laugh was her telling him before she walks out, she goes, I almost died today, sir. And he just goes, you look fine. Can you get me a coffee? And then as she walks out, he yells, don't forget the sugar. And I thought that was a pretty good John Lithgow delivery. Back with Katherine Heigl. Jensen has left, John Bon Jovi, and she's hanging out with her pals, and she's throwing eggs at a picture of Jensen that's taped to the wall. And really, I don't know. I think it's nice that she, a caterer, managed to bag this rock star somehow. I don't really understand how this possibly could have happened. Like, I don't think you're used to...
she looks like Katherine Heigl.
Sure.
So
yeah. I don't know how they met up, but yeah, good for her. But she's still upset with him. These wounds have not healed. Back at the New York City Langone Medical Center, we start our 8th and final subplot of the film. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason for the season... Mr. Robert De Niro himself is in a hospital bed being checked by a doctor played by Cary Elwes. The face reveal occurs at 18 minutes and 56 seconds. De Niro plays Stan Harris, one of the great characters of cinema, who is dying of...
It's not even one of the great characters of bad Robert De Niro characters.
Oh God! I mean, time-wise, it's not even one of the great characters of this film, but he's dying he's dying of cancer pretty imminently. He doesn't want any chemo or any sort of treatment. He just wants to go, and he explains to Cary Elwes that he picked this hospital specifically because the roof has a good view of the ball drop, and he tells the doc there's no one for the doctor to notify about his passing, that his dying wish is to see the ball drop just one more time. And he asks Cary Elwes if there's any way he could be taken up to the roof to see it in person. And Cary Elwes declines this offer, says can't do it. But Nurse Halle Berry is watching from the distance and kind of oversees this. Afterwards, in private, Cary Elwes tells the nurses that De Niro is so close to dying that Elwes doesn't think he's going to last the night, which is, wow, really on death's door.
I have a question for you here.
Yeah.
Because I stopped at this moment. You believe that?
That he's not going to make it through the night?
Yeah.
No, not really.
He looks fucking fine. Like, I was like, this guy's going to be dead in like 7 hours, and this is what he looks like? He just looks like regular Robert De Niro laying in a hospital bed. His color is great. He looks great.
Right. He just looks like De Niro with an unkempt beard and hair. He doesn't look emaciated. He can still talk. Yeah, I agree. I did not buy that he was dying imminently, but, let's take a moment here and talk about De Niro's performance. I mean, listen, he's only in like 5 fucking minutes of the film, but I will say, and I believe this very strongly, that he gives by far the best performance in this film. Like
by
none.
Far.
Yes.
Yep.
Like even in this scene, he is doing such good eye acting that I was affected. I was emotionally affected by this tiny little 2-minute scene setting up one of 8 subplots in this dumbass movie. And I didn't feel that at any other point during the film. So like, I have to give him credit. He's the master for a reason.
It's the only subplot in the film that is even a little bit emotionally affecting.
Yeah. It's a shame it's 1/8 of the film. And here's one of these tonal dissonance moments, because we cut from Robert De Niro dying in less than 24 hours to Ashton Kutcher on the phone complaining about New Year's Eve, to which I wrote, who has such strong feelings about New Year's Eve? Like, who cares?
Yep. People do.
I guess.
People who think about time differently than you and me do, I guess.
I guess so.
And, we should say, right, that like, you and me have a storied history as like New Year's Eve people.
That's true.
Even when we lived 1,000 miles apart, we used to fly to be together every New Year's Eve for years.
Yeah.
I loved New Year's Eve when I was a young man, but it wasn't about caring about the transition into the new year. It was just like a fun day to hang out and party.
It's like a night to party.
Yeah, I do not like the changeover from one year into another year is completely meaningless to me. Like it is not something that I think about as significant.
Right. The only thing that separates it from any other night for going out is that it's especially crowded and there's some sort of little champagne toast and everyone yells at midnight, and then you're like, woo, fun, yeah, and then you just
I love the noisemakers.
The noisemakers are fun. The hats are fun. Whatever. Yeah, all the accessories are fun.
Yeah. Although I've enjoyed our more quiet New Year's Eves for the past few years. I think that's been fun.
It's all fine. It's about the company you keep, right? It's not about.
Yep.
Yeah, I like having the occasional excuse to go out to the bars because we don't do it like we used to. I don't want to do it like we used to, but it's just nice to go out and do that sort of thing every now and then. So Kutcher's on the phone complaining about New Year's Eve for whatever reason. He goes into the apartment building's elevator, and right before it closes, Leia Michelle, famous from Glee. You ever watch Glee?
No, I never did. No.
I actually watched the first season of that show. It was a real cultural phenomenon when it came out. You wouldn't expect that from me. Man. That's
a crazy thing that I just learned about you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I didn't really like it. I liked Jane Lynch as Sue Sylvester. I didn't like anything else.
People loved her in that role.
She's great. At least early in the series, I didn't watch any other season. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. They end up getting stuck in an elevator, so that's going to be where that plot goes. Back in the hospital with Jessica Biel and Seth Meyers, their doctor is Carla Gugino, who, God bless her so much, I love her. She's saying that labor could be any day now. Apparently, they already previously stated that they wanted to have a natural childbirth, but apparently that has changed, and now they really want to get that thing out of there as quickly as possible. But Gugino is onto their scheme, and she's disappointed in them, which I would never want to disappoint Carla Gugino.
Oh my gosh, me neither. Yep.
Back with the mother-daughter subplot, Haley's talking to her mother, Sarah Jessica Parker. She wants to go to the ball drop with a guy from her high school, Seth. And I'm going to ask you here, you have a young daughter, obviously much younger than Haley, but how would you feel about your 15-year-old daughter attending the New Year's Eve ball drop with a teenage boy unsupervised?
Yeah, we'll talk about this a little bit more when I get into my my final ratings for the different subplots, which I've written out here.
Okay,
but let me give you a little bit of a preview here with what I think about this. I think it's one of the most nonsensical things about the film. Like, I feel like it's sketched as though the Sarah Jessica Parker character is like being really unreasonable by not wanting her daughter to do this, but like, it's totally reasonable.
Right.
Like, I would never in a million years let my teenage daughter go do this unsupervised.
Right.
It's like a den of like drunk weirdos.
Right. It's a den of thousands of drunk weirdos. And on top of that, like Haley's like, oh, you don't trust me, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, she rightfully,
nothing to do with whether I trust you.
rightfully doesn't trust the horny 15-year-old boy who has invited her to this unsupervised situation.
Like, the daughter seems like a perfectly nice young lady. Like, I trust her. It's just like, it's not the thousands of weirdos and this boy who I basically don't know is your parent. Like,
oh man, back with Hilary Swank, God bless her. She's climbing the stairs to the roof. They have like a little press conference kind of thing there. We get some historical information about the ball. Who gives a fuck? Back with Josh Duhamel, he's now talking to a tow truck driver who explains that he's basically shit out of luck. That there's like nowhere to. It's New Year's Eve. There's nowhere to take the car. There's nowhere to get it fixed. Like, it's not happening. He's not getting to New York. Back with Zac Efron and Michelle Pfeiffer, they're outside of the record label headquarters. And you're right, she has a list of New Year's resolutions. This is a crazy list to accomplish in 1 year. which
and to have put it off till the last day.
And, well...
What's wrong with you?
Wouldn't it be for the upcoming year?
No, I think they were for this year. Like, I think that her whole plot is she decides to quit her job because she realizes she's a huge loser.
Yes.
Like, it's like she's like spending all of her time and energy working this stupid job. And then she's got this list of New Year's resolutions. She's like, shit, I haven't done any of them. I have to quit my job so I can ask Zac Efron to help me do my New Year's resolution list before midnight.
You know what's going to help me accomplish my incredibly expensive and time-consuming resolutions? Quitting my job. You're right. So she says, she makes a deal with Efron and says if he can help her complete all of her resolutions by midnight, besides quitting her job, then he will receive the party invites to that masquerade. Which, again, I ask, I'm not looking for plot holes here, but what good are the party invites going to be if it takes him until midnight to help her accomplish these resolutions?
I think we're going to find out.
Wouldn't you want like a 9 p.m. deadline, time to go home, shower, change?
Listen, we're going to find out. Okay, let's watch the movie.
Yeah, and they ride off on his moped. Back with the Katherine Heigl subplot, Sofia Vergara is talking to John Bon Jensen, and he gives some exposition about how he stars 77 films, apparently.
Did you just think of that?
I had it in my notes. I thought about it when I was taking my 2,200 words of notes. Yep. But he explains
just because you hadn't said it before. I was was that like a spontaneous thought just now?
I like to pepper the humor throughout the episode, you know. But he explains that...
I'm learning so much from you about how to be funny.
That's going to be one of our episodes, the Comedy Clinic, with Mike back at you. But he says that apparently they were serious and he asked Heigl to marry him, but then he got cold feet, which I thought was very funny. It's like, dude, you're like 50 years old.
Right, like I know this lady's only a caterer, but she's Katherine Heigl. Like,
right?
I don't know that you're going to do much better.
Go
like,
for it, man.
Like, she's a beautiful woman. She clearly really loves you, and like, you know, like the kinds of women you might be able to nail down as a 50-year-old like aging rock star. Like, yeah, you could probably sleep with like a lot of really beautiful women, but like the ones who would marry you are probably mostly fucking weirdos.
Right.
Like, this seems like maybe the best it could possibly be for you at this stage in your life. Like,
she runs her own company. She seems like a respectable
Seems like
adult.
an awesome lady.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Heigl overhears this conversation, walks over to him, and they call a truce. Meanwhile, Efron and Pfeiffer are accomplishing some resolutions here. They have breakfast at Tiffany's and take a taxi ride with no traffic, which really means having breakfast outside of Tiffany's and taking a ferry ride. Back to Jensen, Bon Jovi, and Heigl. He wants to fix things and have her come on tour with him, which starts tomorrow, which I think is a pretty interesting request to someone who owns and operates her own company, but whatever. She says she wants to commit to her work, so there's a real dilemma there. Now we go back to Ashton Kutcher and Lea Michele in the elevator. He finds out that she works for Jensen in some capacity, but she's not getting to work today because they're stuck in this dumbass elevator. Back with Haley and Seth. Haley tells Seth that, sadly, she can't go to the celebration in Times Square. I wrote here, I think Sarah Jessica Parker is very reasonable here. It's so good. Seth says, and I quote, "With all due respect, supervision is for kids. We are young adults." And it's like, yeah, That's why you shouldn't be going out unsupervised. You're a fucking idiot. Efren and Pfeiffer go to Red Hook, and for going to Bali, which is one of Pfeiffer's resolutions, he takes her to, like, you know how there are those underground speakeasy bars where there's no signage out front and you have to walk into an alley and knock 3 times or whatever? It's like that, but for a giant Bali style spa, which I thought was really weird from a marketing perspective, but maybe that works in Red Hook. I don't know.
It looked like the space was like 3 stories.
It's gigantic.
Like the ceiling was so high.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Like a fucking warehouse.
It was like a 30-foot ceiling.
Yeah, I don't know how you make that work financially in Red Hook, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was 15 years ago. Maybe real estate in Red Hook was cheaper then.
God,
I think some of those like more industrial Brooklyn neighborhoods have really gentrified over the past 10 or 15 years, haven't they? So maybe I don't know. If you have some knowledge of Brooklyn real estate, why don't you write in and tell us whether you think this was realistic?
Right. This film was recorded back when Williamsburg was still gentrifying, and now people are over Williamsburg, and now it's moved on to other neighborhoods. So things are always changing. Back with Myers and Beale, they're trying kooky ways to induce labor. Beale's eating a lot of anchovies, but their competing couple, played by Sarah Paulson and Till Schweiger, they're ready to check in. It turns out none of them are actually ready to squirt out their kids, though, so they all have to wait right now. Were you emotionally invested in that subplot at all?
Let me look at my ranking here.
Don't give me the ranking. Just tell me, were you emotionally invested in that subplot at all?
No, not at all.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, man. Haley's mad at her mom, says she sucks because she doesn't have a man, which I thought was pretty fucked up. Josh Duhamel. We get a little more meat with Josh Duhamel. He's being towed back to the church. It turns out that he's able to get a ride from the pastor. The pastor is taking his family into the city in his RV. So it's the pastor, his wife, played by Yeardley Smith, the voice of Lisa Simpson from The Simpsons, the show that Mike still hasn't seen, and his 2 children, his 2 sons. So that's going to be the kooky subplot there, is Josh Duhamel is going to have to ride with these crazy characters. Back with our hero De Niro himself. De Niro is talking to Halle Berry at night and gives a little bit of backstory, talks about how he was a wartime photographer in Vietnam.
I think that you're pronouncing that actor's name so incorrectly.
Halle Berry?
I had to go look it up to make sure. No, it's Josh Duhamel.
It's not Josh Duhamel. I'm telling you, it's Josh Duhamel.
Listen, I don't know what to tell you. I'm looking at the phonetic spelling on Wikipedia right now, and I pulled up the phonetic alphabet. Unless Wikipedia is just incorrect, which is possible. Yeah, I think you're just pronouncing it completely incorrectly. You were saying it, and I was like, "That's not how it's spelled at all."
Was I saying Duhamel?
Yes.
Oh, it's Duhamel. It's Duhamel.
But it's not even Du. It's Duhamel.
Josh Duhamel?
Yeah, the phonetic alphabet says it's a short A is the first syllable's vowel sound. I think it's just Duhamel.
Hold on. Yahoo Entertainment has an article about commonly mispronounced celebrity names, and his is one of them.
Perfect.
So it's simply Duhamel. Josh Duhamel.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, thank you.
I didn't know it. I just read the phonetics on Wikipedia. I had no idea. Yeah,
that's more live fact checking. We pride on Josh Duhamel. Josh Duhamel. Mr. Transformers. Josh Duhamel.
I really like him in this movie, by the way. His is one of my favorite performances.
Yeah, no, I thought he had a lot of natural charisma, and I enjoyed seeing him on screen.
Super charming dude.
Yes. Yeah. So Josh Duhamel is towed back to the church. Okay, whatever, we got there. Okay, so we're talking about Robert De Niro here. He's not going to make it through the fucking night. He's talking to Halle Berry about his sad backstory. You know, he
doesn't look a day over 50.
He wronged people in his life. He was in Vietnam, blah, blah, blah. Now we get back to Haley and her mother, Sarah Jessica Parker. Turns out Haley snuck out of the apartment to attend this celebration and get groped by 1,000 drunk men in Times Square. She gets onto the subway and the door closes right as Sarah Jessica Parker's approaching. The mom tries calling her, but she doesn't pick up. Very dramatic moment. Back to Efron and Pfeiffer. They are in an animal adoption clinic. Do you call it a clinic? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think a clinic, right?
Yeah. And apparently she just adopted a dog, which I don't know. Didn't she just quit her job? Is that the sort of responsibility you want to be taking on when you don't have a job? I guess it was a different employment market back then.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, it was
2011.
It was on her list.
That's true. It was on her list.
She had to do it.
That's the problem with New Year's resolutions is you procrastinate on them and then you have to do all of them with young Zac Efron on December 31st.
But that is true. It was a crazy job market in 2011. The economy was popping off in that like post-recovery period. The stimulus bill had passed. There was a lot of money floating around.
I just want to go. I want to go back.
2010s.
Send me back. And that was her fulfilling.
We were just in an economy like that a few years ago.
Yeah, that was her
more recently.
That was her fulfilling her resolution to save a life. So that's really nice. That's sweet. Whatever. It's sunset in big ol' Times Square. There's a big crowd forming. Ryan Seacrest walks out. The ball starts to raise, but it malfunctions. Uh-oh. Oof. Bad news for Hilary Swank, whose entire fucking life's purpose is to make sure that ball goes up and then down.
She's a VP in New York. She's probably making $250,000 a year, and her entire job is to make this one thing work right once a year. And she fucked it up.
Yeah, pretty embarrassing.
Right.
Big snafu. Yep. We see Josh Duhamel. We see Josh Duhamel hanging out with everyone in the RV, whatever. And then we
Josh Duhamel.
Josh, whatever. Yeah. And Efron and Pfeiffer.
There's not a U in the name.
There is a U in the name. It's the second letter in his name.
Oh, is it a do? Well, it's Duhamel.
Whatever. Efron and Pfeiffer, they're at some crazy art exhibit where it's kind of like a 3D map of the entire city that you can walk through. It kind of like fills a warehouse, and that's her fulfilling her. Cool. Yeah, it seemed really neat. I love that sort of shit. Anytime I travel, I love going to art galleries and museums. That was her walking through all 5 boroughs. Efron does something incredibly stupid here. He calls Kutcher, his roommate, within earshot of Pfeiffer and describes Pfeiffer as pathetic, but in a cute way. And she is upset with this being called pathetic and tells her
he nailed her ass.
He is totally right, but like, come on, you can't say that. Yeah. Come on. But she says she no longer wants to do the resolutions thing. It's not fun anymore, which fair. I don't think it would be very fun if the person you're doing it with thinks you're pathetic. Meanwhile, back with Swank and this whole snafu, she's being informed that they don't know what the problem is with the ball, and they say that they need a man named Kaminsky. Cut to Meyer, who's back home in his apartment with his lovely wife, Jessica Biel, and her water breaks. They have difficulty hailing a taxi and end up in a pedicab going back to the hospital for this delivery. Now we go back to, I guess, a different hospital because it's not like they ever interact with De Niro. So we're back with Halle Berry talking to De Niro. And she says that she's going to stay there and be there with him until he passes, which I thought was very sweet. I really thought like this is all the movie has to offer in terms of emotional engagement. Halle Berry, she didn't do anything particularly great with the performance, but she was nice. It was a nice little thing going on here for 1/8 of the film.
I love Halle Berry.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's a great actress. Just like it's a thinly written role. She doesn't have much to do in the 5 minutes of screen time.
A nurse. Well, and we will find out later that her husband is deployed overseas.
Yeah.
So
getting ahead of me
we get a little
again.
bit of that too. Yep. It doesn't matter. Nothing that happens in this movie matters.
Well, we're back in the elevator.
It's all just information.
We're back in the elevator. Fuck this subplot. I fucking hate this. I don't like Ashton Kutcher. I don't fucking care about Leah Michelle, whatever her fucking name is. They roast each other, blah, blah, blah. We learn a little bit more about them. Who fucking cares? Let's go back to Josh Duhamel, for God's sake. He is telling his backstory to the family in the RV. I guess the gist of it is that he met some woman last year. He's like a super handsome, charismatic bachelor who is offered poon all the time, and he's not interested. No one inspires him to want to stay with them. But last year at New Year's Eve, he met someone really special, and I guess she like gave him a note saying, if you're really serious, then let's meet again 1 year later at New Year's Eve at this specific time and place. Which, again, I ask, not looking for plot holes, but if you meet someone and hit it off with them, why not just go like, here's my number on a napkin. Give me a call sometime. Let's, instead of waiting 365 days, let's wait like 5 to 7.
Yeah. I mean, listen, coffee. I agree. It makes absolutely no sense. Especially if the guy is like Josh Duhamel.
Right.
Like you would look at that guy and you would be like, well, he's going to get scooped up sometime in the next 12 months. Like I probably, if I feel like we have a connection, like to your point, probably want to see him again within the next couple weeks, like try to kind of get the ball rolling on that bad boy.
Right. If I meet someone who is attractive and charismatic and I get along with really well, I'm not going to give every other man in the universe an entire year to try and get with this person. What? I would be like, listen, let's go for a walk in the park or something. I don't know. Like, let's just see if there's anything here. But whatever. So that's why he cares about getting back to New York City.
Of course. That's not why he cares about getting back to New York City, though. He has to give a speech.
Well, that's true. We're getting there right now. I guess people are arriving to the masquerade ball, and some character played by Cherry Jones announces that Jensen is coming to perform. Apparently, Lea Michele is a background singer for Jensen, and she's kind of sad because Jensen did not ask her to go on tour with him. So whatever. If you care about that subplot, there it is for you. Meanwhile, Kaminsky arrives at the giant malfunctioning Phillips New Year's Eve ball, and I guess he's a recently fired repairman, a bit of a kooky character himself, and he explains that he has to find the one light out of the 35,000 that went out in order to repair the ball, which is insane. That's a crazy way to make that ball, and I think it is actually the opposite of a product endorsement for Phillips.
Yeah, I think like it's so crazy that I don't believe it even a little bit. Like I don't believe that it would ever be that way.
It's like science fiction. It's just like an alternate history.
There's a line about it. They're like, oh, we haven't moved past the Christmas lights where you pull one out and it doesn't work. And it's like, yeah, I agree. I don't believe that would be the way that it would be for this multi-million-dollar event that gets put on every year.
And he's reluctant to do the work, rightfully so. Apparently he was canned by this organization, but he just agrees to do it. Why doesn't he squeeze Hilary Swank for money? Like, hey, your ass is on the line. How about you cut me a check for $10,000 straight from your personal bank account? And I'll try. No guarantees, motherfucker.
But I think we're supposed to understand that this Kaminsky character is a man of honor.
Yes.
You know,
good for him.
He's in it for the love of the game, for the love of making this shitty light work.
For the love of Philips Hue lights, which, to be fair, you and I both own some Philips Hue lights. So,
I recently, you probably know this, right? I think we've talked about it. I recently replaced the only remaining light bulbs in my house that weren't Philips Hue lights with Philips Hue lights. And now every light socket in my house has a Philips Hue light.
I got to do that. I still have a few lingering. Yeah.
It's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it.
Great. Oh, I love it.
They're amazing. Amazing product.
Anyways, Hilary Swank is holding a press conference in a nearby office building. Huge snafu for you, really embarrassing, career-ending stuff. And this seems to be an emotional fulcrum point for the film, or at least it wants to be. She gives a very sentimental speech about the emotional significance of New Year's Eve. And did you buy this for even a second? It was so transparently manipulative to me, not even as a movie watcher, but like in the reality of that scene. She's holding a press conference trying to save her ass. And she's like, oh, maybe this is really just an opportunity for all of us to take a breather and think about what's really important on New Year's Eve. And it's like, New Year's Eve isn't that important. It's not a sentimental holiday in the way that Christmas is or Thanksgiving is. This is bullshit. All you need to do is your fucking job and make sure the ball goes up and down and stays lit.
Yeah, no, I don't buy it. I think that well, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. We get a little more in the RV where we learn more about the note exchange. And then we go back to Zac Efron himself, who receives a call from Sarah Jessica Parker. What the fuck? It's so funny how they try to bring all of these plots together, how they all converge. Apparently they're siblings. And Sarah Jessica Parker's at a bar in Times Square. And Efron reveals that he knows where Haley is, so he reveals the location to her. Efron apologizes to Michelle Pfeiffer, and she drives the moped now. She's taking control of this. She has some agency. Good for her. Hilary Swank has a conversation with Ludacris, who gives a shit. and we get back to Seth Meyers and Jessica Biel, who arrive at the hospital the same time as the other couple. Who cares?
I just wasn't really thinking about this until you said it all just now, and I just looked and I was right. Did you know that Sarah Jessica Parker is 27 years older than Zac Efron?
I knew she was significantly older than Efron because of when Sex and the City was on, but I didn't think about the difference. That's incredible.
She was quite literally, more than twice his age when this film came out. Because Zac Efron is the same age as me. He was born like a few months before I was.
Yeah, I did. How old are you in 2011? 24?
Yeah, 24. Yeah.
I didn't think it was plausible that they were siblings.
Yeah,
so.
She was like 51 years old when this film was released. She was born in 1960.
Right, because Zac Efron in this movie has a very like youthful, bro-y kind of fuckboy energy.
He looks younger than 24.
Yes,
honestly, like he seems very young in this role.
Yes,
I didn't really think about that, but like, yeah, I don't buy them as siblings at all. Like she could be his mom, literally, like that. She's the appropriate age to be his mom.
Yeah, maybe that would have made more sense, but whatever. You know, it is what it is. Jensen performs starts to perform a show at New Year's Eve. And while he's performing at Times Square, Lea Michele starts singing. So it's kind of like a duet in a way that I don't give a shit about. And she connects with Kutcher a little more. De Niro wakes up, or we're back to one of the good subplots. De Niro wakes up.
It's the last time he's ever going to wake up.
Oh my God. So sad. Stan Harris, R.I.P. No, he's still alive. He wakes up and he mentions the ball drop. He's talking to Halle Berry, but seems to be confusing her for his daughter and starts apologizing. And, I would just like to say here that I would like to be at Robert De Niro's bedside when he passes. I think I've earned that.
I think that would be incredible.
Yeah.
Put that on our bucket list.
Yeah.
I think I've earned that. We've done half of this podcast. We're not even done with the podcast.
Hopefully it's long after we complete the podcast. I'm just saying no one else is doing what I'm doing besides you. No one else is doing what we're doing. I'd be content to just be in the room. I could be in the corner, by the TV. Yeah. The TV's on. It's kind of playing
respectfully, like
yeah. Yeah, exactly. CNN's kind of playing on mute in the 27-inch TV that's mounted way too high. Yeah, sure.
Got the Chiron up there. Yeah. Robert De Niro currently dying.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, we're live on the scene with the two co-hosts of the Our Hero De Niro podcast. No. He's gonna live a long time. We wish him the best health. This.
You have to cut this all out.
This was the worst tonal shift that I noticed in the film, because we cut from this a very emotional moment between De Niro and Halle Berry to Efron and Pfeiffer, which, to be clear, like, I enjoyed their subplot just fine, but theirs is so light and breezy in a USA Network original series kind of way. And the music is so jaunty and peppy that, oh my God, it was a tonal clash for me. But I don't know. They do another resolution thing, whatever. So they're back in the groove. I think that's really nice. Lea Michele talks to Kutcher some more. And, I don't care about any of this at all. But essentially, they start getting close to each other. They almost kiss. And then they're Super, played by Jim Belushi, manages to fix the elevator so they get out, and Kutcher is blue-balled. The only thing I'll ask here is, you ever watch According to Jim Belushi's sitcom?
Nope. Have you?
I watched it regularly on ABC back when it was airing. Yeah.
It's incredible. We're learning so much about you.
I watched, I think that was a pretty regular occurrence. I would watch like those network sitcom, like primetime sitcoms with my family, like my mom, like According to Jim, 8 Simple Rules, all those sorts of things. Weird, right?
Well, there you go.
Now, yeah. I barely watch any TV right now because I think the landscape is just so fucking depressing. But
there's plenty of good stuff out there, though.
Yeah.
I mean, as a subset or a fraction, it's very small, but there's like 3 or 4 good shows on TV right now.
Yeah. It's just
it's like all 800 scripted shows that are coming out this year.
It's all relative. Good TV is. I take that with a lot of salt these days. People say, and I trust your judgment more than most other people's, but a lot of people will like claim that new streaming shows are good or whatever. And like,
they're definitely not.
Yeah.
On this topic, I watched a great YouTube video the other day. I'll send it to you. That was about why streaming TV and streaming movies are so bad. It was fascinating. Did you know that Netflix has an explicit content strategy to create content that is meant to be second screened during? Because they know that that's going to keep viewers in their app more, because viewers want to second screen. And so the reason why streaming shows and movies now are this way that you and me hate, that's so pandering and so like friendly to stupid people, is because they literally are specifically designing their content to attract stupid people who second screen while they watch stuff. It really opened my eyes, and like now that it's been explained to me, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, what a fucking nightmare! Like, oh my god,
wow.
It's like if I am watching a TV show or a movie, unless it's for this podcast, because I have definitely watched some movies for this podcast that I've second screen during, and like I have to watch, so I keep watching it.
Yeah.
But if I'm watching a TV show or a movie and I find myself looking at my phone more than once or twice, I just stop watching it.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, this must not be a very good use of my time, because like I love looking at my phone. Don't get me wrong. I love to look at my phone. But it's like, if I would rather look at my phone, something that I can do anytime, than watch a movie, something that I've sat down to turn on my television, I'm just going to look at my phone. It's fine. I'll just turn off the thing on my TV. It's all good. I love my phone. There's lots of good stuff on there.
I think in the context of this podcast, I think about a lot of our in real life friends and how, you know, many of them have never bothered taking the time to listen to an episode or like watch the movies that we're discussing. And I know enough about them and their media consumption habits to know that I feel, not to toot our own horn too much, but like, I just know. I think they would be better off if they just turned off the TV, turned off the reality TV, turned off the Bravo for like a few hours. And instead they just picked whatever. It doesn't even matter if it's a good De Niro film. I think
it could be Greetings.
It could maybe not Greetings. It could be any other De Niro film, but like watch the film, take the 2 hours, listen to the corresponding episode of the podcast. And I think that entire experience would be so much more enriching and still like entertaining.
Watching, the Real Housewives of Key West, or whatever.
Like we know those people who like they only watch that bullshit, and it's just like to me it is just so bleak. That's it. That's what you're doing from now till the end of time. I'm watching like the worst of the worst content. Like that is just thrown at my face. It's oh god, I don't know.
Yeah, it makes me feel pessimistic about the future of humanity. Honestly, it really does. Yeah,
I'm not saying you need to be an adult who, goes to the fucking opera every week in your petticoat or whatever. But like, damn, do something. Right,
you can
enriching.
At least sit down. You can at least, if you're going to sit down and watch TV, you can sit down and watch like fucking Severance or like Pluribus or some like HBO drama or something, instead of watching some like mindless reality TV schlock. At least consume something of some cinematic or literary value. Like it's such a... Yeah, it's pretty grim. I don't know. It's a grim way to spend your time.
Well, let's wrap this fucking plot recap up. Who fucking cares?
I think this episode's been a blast so far.
No, I've been having a lot of fun.
One of our best.
I've been having there are a lot of good asides. So I'm just gonna blaze through this though. So please raise your hand, stop me if you want to say anything. Back with Seth Meyers and Jessica Biel, their baby's delivered, and they see the competing family has a couple of kids already, so they're on their way to pumping out kid number 3. Josh Duhamel, yeah, that's his name. Josh Duhamel finally arrives in New York City. Haley makes her way to 54th Street. Efron drops Pfeiffer off in Times Square, and she gives him the party invites. And Josh Duhamel arrives at the big masquerade ball. It turns out his mom is the woman who was hosting the party. It sounds like their dad was some bigwig who passed away. Back with Hilary Swank, we get a cameo appearance from Matthew Broderick, who plays a character named Mr. Buellerton, who is the president of the Times Square Alliance and Hilary Swank's boss, who basically wants to, make sure that she doesn't totally fuck this up. Pretty important stuff. I mean, I don't know. I think he'd probably be in some hot shit too for, hot shit isn't the word, right? The phrase. What's the phrase? It's not
hot water.
Hot water. Hot shit
hot
seems
water
worse.
Or deep shit. You've kind of Frankensteined these.
Could you imagine being in a pile of hot shit?
I mean, I for what it's worth, I think that it would be worse than both hot water and deep shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Like imagine if you were in just a cauldron of like 120 degree shit.
Bubbling shit.
That would be a nightmare.
Yeah. Oh man.
Like not hot enough to kill you, but like you'd be feeling, you'd be pulling on your collar a little bit, feeling a little bit uncomfortable with that stench.
Oh, the stink would be bad. This is not a real question. I'm just curious to know if you know this. Consider this an Our Hero De Niro fun fact. Did you know that Matthew Broderick killed 2 people?
What?
What? You didn't know? So you didn't know? Okay, yeah, no, this is real. This is a real thing. In the 80s, he was in like Scotland or something. Don't laugh. People died. In the 80s, he was driving. Him and his girlfriend were driving in Scotland or something. And I don't know why. He doesn't know why either. He went into the other side of the road and he crashed into an oncoming car that was occupied by a woman in her 20s and her mother. And they were both killed in the crash. And he faced up to 5 years in jail, but apparently got off with $100 fine.
I just want to correct you here because I'm looking at Wikipedia. It was £100 fine.
Sorry, okay,
so
that's a little more.
$175 US. Yeah, yep. Oh my God!
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that sounds like miscarriage of justice. Honestly, that doesn't sound like enough.
Doesn't
a rich
seem very
movie
fair.
star.
Yeah,
you're gonna make him pay a pittance like that.
You kidding me? If I only had to pay £100 every time I killed 2 people, geez, I'd be out on the road right now. I'd be like, I'd be like Kurt Russell in Death Proof, driving around in my used BMW 535 Xi.
I mean, it's like they say, right? If the punishment for a crime is a fine, then that crime is only a crime for poor people.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
that's not even a very big fine.
That's why people come to this podcast, for the social justice talk.
Hard-hitting class politics commentary.
Yeah. So now it's time to wrap all these plots up. They all converge. Basically, what happens with Lea Michele and Kutcher, she ends up making it to the Jensen gig. She impresses him with the singing. She ends up kissing Ashton Kutcher. Who cares? Josh Duhamel gives a speech. It's fine. It's emotional enough. Kaminsky fixes the ball. And Swank skips out on arguably the most important night of her entire year and leaves Kaminsky in charge, which, whatever, seems insane to me. Back at the masquerade of the party, 2 attractive middle-aged women hit on Josh Duhamel while he's sitting at the bar looking all morose, and he's not feeling it. He just can't handle these women who want to have a threesome with him. Heigl walks around to check on people, and Duhamel's mother lets Heigl know that the reason she was hired was because Jensen put in a good word about her company. Back with Robert De Niro himself, Mr. Stan Harris, he tells Barry that he doesn't want her to be around when he dies, and by perfect coincidence, Hilary Swank arrives, and apparently she is Robert De Niro's daughter in this film.
What a plot twist.
What a twist! Which, now I don't know, like, should she have stayed at work on the most important night of the year, or should she have like delegated this, been like, my dad is dying within 12 hours. I really shouldn't be here today.
I think probably the latter.
Probably the latter.
Here's a question for you. Did you guess this twist at all? Because I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I didn't.
No.
And I feel like it was actually quite obvious, like, and telegraphed like very clearly, and like, especially as you did the recap. Like I was kind of like, I feel like I should have realized, like when she gave the speech.
I didn't see any of these coming. No, I did not.
Nor did I. Not a single one of the connections. I didn't call any of it.
There's another one that I really didn't see coming either. But Halle Berry ends her shift, changes into a pink dress, and does a video call with her husband, played by the rapper Common, who is some sort of serviceman deployed overseas. Jensen and Heigl make up. He's going to cancel his tour, which I guess is going to leave the hundreds of people involved in the production shit out of luck, but whatever, romance stands above all. The ball drop begins and everyone's celebrating. The clock hits midnight, but Pfeiffer is alone. Haley arrives just in time for the ball drop, but sees another girl kiss Seth, which, in Seth's defense, he didn't proposition her. The girl just planted one on him. Really bad timing. Yeah. So she leaves right when her mom arrives, Sarah Jessica
Almost
Parker.
Unbelievably bad timing.
Almost unbelievably.
I actually don't fucking believe it.
It seems impossible. Beale and Myers have their baby. Who cares? And they give their baby was technically born first, but Seth Meyers has like a change of heart and lies about the delivery time so that Till Schweiger and Sarah Paulson can have the money to take care of their family. I guess because they have 3 kids, but like, maybe I'm a prick. I mean, I guess I am kind of a prick, but like seeing that they already have 2 kids wouldn't make me like think, oh, well, they need the money more than we do. I feel like I couldn't judge that based on just seeing the fact that they have.
I'm not really sure. Like
Right.
it made no sense to me.
Right. It's not like they never have a conversation where he's like, oh, like times are so tough.
Like, we're really struggling. Like,
Right.
yeah, it's so expensive to have 2 kids.
It's just like they seem fine. They seem well off. I don't know. You can't really infer anything about that, but whatever. Back with Zac Efron and Michelle Pfeiffer. Efron finds Michelle Pfeiffer and kisses her, which also seems virtually impossible in that sort of crowd, but good for them. And she's surprised by this because she says she's twice his age. I looked it up. Michelle Pfeiffer was 52 years old in this, and I'm going to ask you another question here. Would you go for it?
100%.
100%.
Is a beautiful
100%.
woman. I don't even have to think about it. 100%.
100%.
Yep.
You get Catwoman?
I mean, she is an almost unbelievably beautiful woman.
It's like I always say, and you're going to know when I say this because I always say it. Good pussy don't go bad.
I've literally never heard you say that before. We've exchanged millions of words, tens of millions of words in our friendship.
14 years of friendship. You don't recall me saying good pussy don't go bad. Oh God. I don't know, whatever. Sarah Jessica Parker has a change of heart and lets her daughter hang out with her friends even later into the night at some after party. Josh Duhamel
Totally
is
makes sense.
sitting outside of this boarded up restaurant where he was supposed to meet his woman, his mystery date. He looks very despondent, but it turns out that the woman arrives and it's Sarah Jessica Parker. Turns out that was his mystery woman the entire time. So they unite and have a wonderful whatever time. We're wrapping all the plots up.
Was this the one that
now.
you really didn't see coming?
I did not see this coming at all. There was nothing about Sarah Jessica Parker's character to suggest that this was a thing. Like she seemed committed to staying in. Why would she do that?
And I feel like this has to be a hot take, right? But like, I do not find Sarah Jessica Parker attractive at all. Do you find her attractive?
I don't want to be disparaging about an actress's looks, but she's no Josh Duhamel in terms of like the power ranking.
That's what
right?
I mean. Like, I'm not trying to be mean about it or anything. It's like, I think Josh Duhamel is a literal 10. Like, he's like as handsome as a man could possibly be. And it's like, I just don't see it. Honestly, I just don't think I see it. Maybe I'm being a little shallow, but I just don't see it happening. I don't know. So strange credulity for me a bit.
Yeah, I agree. And I just think if you're Sarah Jessica Parker and you've made this crazy, weird gesture where you're like, it all hinges, if you really care, meet me in a year. And then she's like, I'm just going to stay in. Fuck that. What?
Right.
What happened
you have
in
this
the year?
chance with this guy who's like, multiple points above you on the 10-point scale, who seems like an awesome dude.
Right.
Like,
Charismatic, attractive, seems so cool. Rich hunk. Yeah. Looking to settle down, with her and her alone.
I'm just going to stay home. No big deal. This isn't worth it.
Yeah.
Right?
So weird. Whatever. And then wrapping it up with Robert De Niro, he dies. And Hilary Swank is invited to look at cute little newborn babies in the hospital's maternity ward. The other dad, and that's when we have the moment about the $20,000.
I have something I want to say about this.
Okay, great.
And in this moment, she also looks at a picture of her as a baby with Robert De Niro, and it just isn't him in the picture.
Oh, I didn't even notice
that. The guy doesn't look anything like him. Oh yeah, I paused it and rewound. I was like, what?
You did the Minority Report thing.
Why didn't they just use a picture of Robert De Niro? Like the guy in the picture looks nothing like him.
Right. It's more important to have De Niro be in the picture than Swank to be in the picture.
Right, because she was a baby.
A girl or a baby or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, like you're not going to make that connection. Like you could just have any baby who doesn't have like black hair and you'd be like, yeah, it could be her. Or the guy looks nothing like De Niro. He has like a super square jaw. Like it's interesting.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's a good catch. And then the film ends with Efron and Pfeiffer arriving at the party and Josh Duhamel doing some voiceover about New Year's Eve because apparently that's like a holiday we're supposed to care about in that sort of sentimental way. And that is the film New Year's Eve. I'm going to turn it over to you for your final rating and subplot ranking. Please tell me what you thought of New Year's Eve.
I mean, this movie is super, super bad. It's definitely definitely near the bottom. I'm assuming that you agree with me about that of films we've watched for this podcast so far. Let me give you my rating in reversed order, and I titled them. So number 8, worst subplot for me was the sex crazed Times Square teens. I just like to my earlier comment, like it's just like I feel like this is one of those contrivance like plot things in this kind of dumb film where they like want us to be on the kid's side, and it's like, no, Sarah Jessica Parker is right. Like, who would want to let their 15-year-old child go do this? Like, and there's this subplot to this subplot where the boy's mom is like crazy because she's always like supervising them or whatever.
It's like a running gag.
Yeah, they sketch her crazily, like the way that she does it, but like actually wanting to supervise your child at that age in New York City on a busy holiday is the normal thing to want to do as a parent. Like very, very, very odd. Number 7, Ashton Kutcher in the elevator. Really, really hate this part. I hated it for the whole time. But the thing I hate about it the most, you actually didn't say, which is that after Jensen leaves to go be with Katherine Heigl, she takes over the concert.
Yeah. I blew right past that.
So stupid.
Made no sense.
Like she's like some random background singer who wasn't even there for most of the show, but she's just wowed the producers so much with the one song that you sang backup for that she just gets to be the headliner now that John Bon Jovi left. It's like, what are we doing here? So that's number 7.
Jensen Bon Jensen.
Number 6 is the pregnant couple sweepstakes, I called it. And it's only not 7 or 8 because I think those other 2 are stupider, but there's really nothing good about it. And I hate it in every way. Now we're getting into the ones that I actually like some stuff about. Katherine Heigl catering lady with John Bon Jovi is number 5. It's okay. I like Katherine Heigl. I think she's good in the role. I agree that Bon Jovi puts on a good performance here, and like the two of them have some chemistry, and it's nice. I'm happy for them. I'm glad that it's all going to work out for those guys. They seem nice. Number 4, the Times Square VP. This one's only as high as it is because of its connection to the De Niro subplot. I feel like that really elevates it. Other than that, it's like it's near the bottom, I think, without that resolution to it. Number 3, Zac Efron and Michelle Pfeiffer. Love them. I think they're great. This was a high point of the film for me. Number 2, Josh Duhamel coming back in the RV. I love Josh Duhamel's subplot. I think he's funny and charming in the role. I really enjoyed his like repartee with his companions in the RV. I thought there were some legitimately entertaining conversations and like chemistry with the actors in those segments of the film. I thought that was really good stuff. And I liked his speech. I thought he had a lot of gravitas considering the role he was playing. I thought it was a really strong performance. And number 1, I mean, obviously, Diane De Niro. How could you give it to anyone else? I mean, it's the emotional core of the film, and it's so funny that it's such a small portion of it. Like, it really is like, it's such an excellent summation of this era of De Niro's career that he shows up. He's in so little of the film, and he's like the only really good thing about it, honestly. So yeah, I mean, I think this movie is terrible. I think there's virtually nothing to like about it. I think that its production is paint by numbers. I think the cinematography is totally unremarkable. The music makes it seem so cheap. The way that it's directed is totally unremarkable. It has all these stars, but almost none of them puts in a decent performance at all. And it's about New Year's Eve, which is not a real holiday. Like it's a very weird thing to make a film about. And I'm glad that we could celebrate it by having this discussion about the film, but the film itself is not good. And so I give it 1.5 stars.
All right. A Mike the Fab 1.5. I love it. I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to tell you my subplot ranking and then my final rating and thoughts on the film. There are some differences in my rankings compared to yours. I'm going to go from worst to best as well. Number 8, last and certainly least for me, was the elevator subplot with Ashton Kutcher and Lea Michele. I hated everything about it. The characters were so thinly sketched. They had so little chemistry. I didn't care at all about it. And they're just in this boring enclosed location for the entire time. So visually, it was also an interesting
bottle episode of a TV show ever.
Exactly. It was the worst of all worlds. Number 7, the maternity ward subplot with Jessica Biel and Seth Meyers. Again, it didn't make sense to me emotionally. It was so wacky and goofy, and there was just no emotional resonance there at all. I just thought it was this goofy, again, like sitcom kind of subplot. Oh, we got to get the baby out to win $25,000. Maybe that could sustain a 23-minute network sitcom, but it's not working in this movie. Number
this feature
6.
film.
Yeah, this feature film. Number 6 was the Times Square subplot with Hilary Swank.
Okay.
I didn't connect it to the De Niro subplot. I made that separate in my ranking. I just thought it was, again, there's nothing there. It's like Hilary Swank is nervous about this day at her job going well. It doesn't go well, and they get someone to come in and fix the problem. And she's friends with Ludacris for some reason, but he has nothing to do. It's like not an organic feeling connection. So whatever. I thought this lady fucking sucked at her job. Sorry, Hilary Swank. You're a fine actress.
Her dad's dying.
Crazy reveal to save for the last 5 minutes of the film.
I think that the reveal elevates it a little bit. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
It would be 6 on my list were it not
Sure.
for that connection. I agree that in general it's bad.
I also want to say too that when I thought about my power ranking here, I thought about it in terms of both how successful it was in the context of the film itself, but also what I felt had the most potential to kind of exist on its own. Like what could actually survive as a real story, if extrapolated into its own film. So number 5, I have the mother and daughter subplot with Sarah Jessica Parker, which, again, I don't care about the teen stuff at all, but I thought, and again, the writing isn't very good, but I thought there was something that could have been there, something there between the mother and daughter.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sarah Jessica Parker's character wanting to get out of her shell, get back into the dating world, be more, whatever. There was a little twinkle of something there that just didn't materialize into much. Number 4, I have Jensen and Laura's story. That's Katherine Heigl and Jensen Von Jensen himself. It was wacky in a sitcom-y kind of way, but there was more to it. It was more fleshed out. It was more entertaining. It was lighthearted. I liked seeing Bon Jovi. It all worked well enough for me, relatively speaking. Number 3, now we're getting into the top 3 here. We're getting into the ones that I actually liked. Number 3, I have the Ahern Party, which is the Josh Duhamel subplot. And I think that this is one that it was pretty thin. There wasn't much to it, but I saw the potential. I saw the vision. This could have been a film in itself. Josh Duhamel is in this, fish out of water, wacky road trip comedy where he has to get a ride back to New York City by the ball drop with this, wacky family of characters.
With these goofballs.
Sure.
They're all funny.
Right. That could be a fun enough 88-minute long comedy film. I would watch that and I'd give it 2.5 on Letterboxd and a heart and say it was good enough. Number 2 is the Resolution Tour with Michelle Pfeiffer and Zac Efron. And I liked this. I genuinely liked this. I thought it was a nice odd couple pairing. I liked both of the characters. I wish they had more space to be more developed and fleshed out. And I really liked, they had a surprising amount of chemistry. I wish that we had the entire film dedicated to them going on this wacky series of misadventures. It could have been a nice little quirky indie
really
romance. And then last but not least, at the top, we have the hospital story with De Niro and Halle Berry, because for all the reasons you said, I'm not going to bother repeating, Robert De Niro does everything he can to act the hell out of this very minor role. And it is the only time that I felt anything significant watching this film. So it has to stand at the top.
100% agreed. So what did you think of the film?
What did I think of the film? Well, I'm not going to bother burying the lead here. I also give New Year's Eve a 1.5 out of 5. It's not a good film for all the reasons that you said. So I'm not going to bother going into it in too much detail. I will just say that it feels less like a feature film and more like an overextended sitcom episode. There were so many moving parts, but almost no emotional or cinematic weight. It relies almost entirely on the novelty of its cast list, to the point where the ensemble becomes a gimmick rather than the strength. And I truly feel, and again, like they wouldn't do this because the whole point of the film and its conception and development was putting as many celebrities in it as possible. But I think it would have been so much stronger if they cut it down to the top 2 or 3 subplots and tried to make it work within the 2 hours in that way. But yeah, flat cinematography, bad score, characters you don't care about, A-list actors giving very mediocre performances because they have nothing
performances,
right, because they have nothing to work with. So 1.5 out of 5. Very funny way to round out the first year of our hero De Niro. But
gotta agree.
On that note, Mike, do you have a film that you would like to recommend instead of New Year's Eve?
I struggled so much to think of something to recommend here. And I went in a totally wacky direction with it.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to find something from roughly this era that had some connection and creative personnel to this film. And so I landed on the 2009 Zack Snyder Watchmen adaptation.
What the fuck? Okay. Okay, please explain.
I mean, listen. It's from the same era, right? So if you're not familiar with Watchmen, it's an extremely famous and beloved graphic novel that Zack Snyder really doesn't understand. And so in 2009, he made this adaptation of it that is, honestly, especially if you watch the director's cut, it is, as far as a screenplay goes, as far as literally what is depicted on screen, a really faithful adaptation. It's kind of nice, honestly, to see such a faithful adaptation of a kind of work of like modern classic literature. But just tonally, it's totally off. Snyder doesn't seem to understand that Watchmen is a satire. So here's what the story's about, right? So it's essentially this story about this gang of superheroes called the Watchmen who become too powerful and there's no force to check them. And so they become corrupt. And there's this refrain right from the film, which is who watches the Watchmen? Mm-hmm. When you end up with this world of vigilante justice, the Batmans of the world, the Supermans of the world, whatever, why would that be good? This is trod ground at this point. We have The Boys now, which is doing this story, I think, in a much more, I wouldn't say it's better, but a much more deeply exploratory fashion, really exploring what would it really be like if there were people with superpowers. And spoiler alert, it would be a fucking nightmare. I think The Boys is actually quite realistic as far as that kind of story goes. In terms of what would happen if these kinds of people actually existed, they would not be Superman type, virtuous heroes. That's not that's not what it would be like. And so that's kind of what Watchmen, the comic, is about. What Zack Snyder's what Zack Snyder's movie is about how cool these people are, basically. And so it's a really fun movie. It's a solid 3-star for me, and I would strongly recommend it. It's worth watching. And the connection is that it has Carla Gugino in it in one of the starring roles.
Be still my beating heart.
I know. She's wonderful in the role, too. Listen, it's a good movie. All the performances are really strong. It's competently directed. It's a faithful adaptation textually. It just it diminishes itself from a 4 or 4.5 star to a 3-star just based on how clearly Zack Snyder has no understanding of what Alan Moore was trying to do in the story.
That is a wonderful recommendation. I agree with everything you said. I rated it, the director's cut, 3.5 out of 5, but it's been a couple of years since I've seen it, maybe more. You're absolutely right that it is, on the face of it, honestly a pretty good movie. One of Zack Snyder's best, I would say, but he doesn't understand subtext. But I do think it's a good movie despite that, and certainly worth a watch. Mine's also a little out there, but I think it's a little more connected than yours is. I kept it to films about New Year's Eve, so I'm recommending the 1995 Catherine Bigelow film Strange Days.
Yeah, we talked about this recently.
Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about it at some point. I really need to watch
it. Yep,
you definitely do.
It was in a recent episode within the past 5 episodes.
I mean, this is the time, close to New Year's Eve. It was directed by Bigelow and written and produced by James Cameron, and it is a sci-fi neo-noir that takes place during the final 48 hours of 1999. And it follows this character, Lenny Nero, played by Ray Fiennes, who's so good in the role. He plays this like lovable loser, small-time criminal kind of role, who's just like a kind of like dumb putz you can't help but root for, who's a former cop turned black market dealer who sells these illegal, they're like VR like memory recordings that let you experience other people's lives. So you can experience like robbing a bank or like whatever, having sex with, in an orgy or whatever it might be. And it basically the plot centers around this whole conspiracy, and there are a lot of like themes it touches on about like social justice, things like that, police corruption, the ethics of voyeurism. And there's a really great cast here featuring Angela Bassett, who's really exceptional here, Juliette Lewis and Tom Sizemore. Yeah, I really like it. And I think it's a much better watch for New Year's Eve than New Year's Eve, because it actually engages with the idea of the world changing at midnight, socially, culturally, and personally, instead of just using it as a backdrop for a very generic rom-com. So I highly recommend Strange Days if you haven't seen it.
Sure. I mean, it's been on my watch list for a long time. It's one of, as I said last time we talked about it, the oldest films on my watch list.
Wow.
That I have not watched.
Damn.
Yeah.
The time is now.
The time is now. It's just 145 minutes long, so it's just like, it's a little long.
Yeah.
If I sit down on an impulse, I need to plan to watch it.
And with that, it's time to take it over to the random roll. We're finally back rolling for future De Niro films that we're going to be watching. I will say that Mike and I, we had a little discussion off air, and we want to do some sort of special episode next week for our first episode of the new year. So we're going to be rolling for 2 weeks from now. And I also updated our master sheet with De Niro's filmography, just removing all the films that we had previously rolled up until this point. So there's no chance of us getting any re-rolls. Mike, are you ready to roll?
I'm ready to roll, and I am hoping for... let me look up what the number is now. Number 49, chronologically number 83, but we're rolling number 49 for Silver Linings Playbook.
Let's do it. I hope it happens.
Unfortunately, it is 35, which is 2002's City by the Sea.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. It looks like it might be kind of good, honestly. Is it good?
I don't fucking know. Why don't you say something about it?
All right. Well, here it is. City by the Sea is a 2002 American crime drama film directed by Michael Caton Jones, starring Robert De Niro, James Franco, Eliza Dushku, Frances McDormand, and William Forsythe. Incredible cast.
Yeah.
It deals with the family problems of a wayward youth and is set against a man trying to break free of his past. It is based on the story of Long Beach, New York, Detective Vincent LaMarca. Oh, I understand. It's saying he's a detective from that city. I was like, what is this sentence? So it's based on the story of this detective. That made no sense to me when I when I read it through. Could be good. It's got a 48 on Rotten Tomatoes. It's divisive. We'll see. But at the very least, it stars Robert De Niro, and it's got a pretty stacked cast, so it'll be fun to watch.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching it. As long as he's in it for more than 5 minutes, we really can't go wrong, right?
He's on the poster.
Oh, I love that. Love when that happens.
Yep. I love, Frances McDormand is one of my favorite actors of all time.
Oh, she's great.
I adore her. She is incredible. I'm very excited to watch a film with her. Love Eliza Dushku. Love James Franco. Feel like you can't go wrong with any of these folks.
I agree. That's a really good early 2000s cast. And with that, I think it's time for us to wrap up this slightly longer than expected episode about New Year's Eve. But I had a lot of fun with it. I think we covered a lot of really good ground here. Yeah, very clippable episode. Once again, I want to take this time to thank all of the citizens of De Niro Nation for tuning in every week. I want to thank Caroline for our wonderful podcast artwork that we've been displaying for a full year now. Please rate us 5 stars in Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I can't say that enough. And
we need it.
Follow us on Letterboxd and social media, and email us with any questions or comments you have. You can find all of that information, all of those links at allmylinks.com/OurHeroDeNiro. You can find our Letterboxd profiles. You can find our email address. You can even find a link to the Our Hero De Niro, the soundtrack Spotify playlist, where I share all the songs that I use in our weekly Instagram posts. It's all there at allmylinks.com/OurHeroDeNiro. And we'll see you again next week with an episode about City by the Sea.
Not next week, the week after.
Well, we'll see you at some point. We'll see you next week with an episode about something. And thank you so much for one incredible year of this podcast.
What a year it's been. Thanks, everybody.